This week on the O The Anthem podcast, it's Drinko de Mayo VII. I've never not wanted to do something so much in my entire life. In sports ball, Trey Mancini lets us know what his condition was, and unfortunately it was cancer. And for your consideration, Oscar changes, and in coronavirus, lifting restrictions sooner, free testing in LA, people protesting, a whole bunch of other stuff. Justin Amash is getting into the race. We'll talk about that. And our words for this week are going to be quarantine, mask, isolation, distancing, corona, COVID, president, shot, drink, drank, and drunk. Looking forward to it here on the O The Anthem podcast. It's 51 weeks of fun for 1 week of penance. This is Corey, and this is the O The Anthem podcast.
How did I get drawn into this Catholic nonsense? Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. Welcome to episode 317 of the O The Anthem podcast, otherwise known as Drinko de Mayo VII. We are joined this week, of course. You see him right here in the center by friend of the show, Roberto Arrizon. Say hello, Roberto.
Hello, everybody.
And, of course, we are coming to you from the hashtag OTA LA studios, high above the 110 freeway on downtown Los Angeles, California. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for listening on your podcatcher of choice, whether that be Apple or Google or Spotify or anywhere. You can find it on anchor.fm/O The Anthem. And if you were wondering why there's a little bit more noise than usual, it's because we have a live studio audience who's decided to watch us along. So,
hey!
And also Roberto being very loud with his water on the mic.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
And, of course, you can find O The Anthem at O The Anthem on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are live right now on Facebook, Twitter, via Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, all over the place. You can't help but find us. You can find all the videos at youtube.com/O The Anthem and everything O The Anthem related, including the store at otheanthem.com. Let's get that out of the way at the top because I doubt we'll remember to do it later, even though we've been trying to avoid doing that for a while. So as you guys can see, a little bit different setup. Roberto's in the center between the two of us. We have our flags at the bottom, and there are two big goose eggs right at the bottom of that. That's going to be our counter for today.
Yeah, so just for anybody who hasn't been a part of this before,
anyone who didn't see Corey's 9-minute long Instagram story earlier today.
Yeah. By the way, not 9 minutes.
Yeah, it was more like 7.5.
So, sure, yeah.
Something
Or
like
20, I think it was. Basically what happened is back when Rob and I were in college together, we were going to go out to a Cinco de Mayo party, which I believe was just called the Drinko de Mayo night or something like that at,
which, by the way, I find terribly offensive to us Mexicans. Cinco de Mayo is a very important holiday for us.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
But the idea was that we are going to... Oh, that's right. I totally forgot to do that. We are going to pregame for that party by playing Need for Speed and taking shots of tequila when you lose a lap. And that got out of hand really quickly, and we never made it out to that night. So sort of as an ode to that, we decided we were going to do this as an annual thing on the podcast. And we have banned words that if we say them, then we have to take a penalty shot of tequila.
Everybody, please introduce your shots.
Wait. So, Roberto, do you have the list of banned words there?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody what the list of banned words
So
are?
for this year, for obvious reasons, some of the words that we have are going to be quarantine, isolation, distancing, and by the way, I don't need to drink while I'm saying them. This doesn't count. The game has not started yet.
Hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
Roberto is our referee for all intents and purposes.
Although I will also drink. Corona or COVID, precedent, shot, and the legacy words drink, drank, and drunk.
And that third from the last one was president, not precedent, even though actor Roberto may or may not.
This is a Cinco de Mayo celebration. We should be doing the whole thing in Spanish. I'm just saying.
Hola, como te llamas?
I would not have to worry about saying banned words if we were doing the whole thing in Spanish.
Fine.
Unless the banned word is hola.
Yeah. Hola en baño, and then you'd be.
That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you. So Corey gave kind of a summary of the story while I was up fixing the thing he forgot to fix before the show.
Technical difficulties.
Well, basically, we've been doing for the last...
We're nothing if not technical difficulties.
Yeah, and also sorry that we are starting an hour and 40 minutes late. It wouldn't be the O The Anthem podcast if we weren't starting late.
This is part of the tradition, I feel like. Especially for Cinco de Mayo episodes. It's like...
And also having Roberto on the most terrible webcam that we could possibly find.
By the way, there is no respect for guests here. I don't even have a chair. I'm sitting on a stool.
This thing was dug up on the Smithsonian's
really
garage sale.
And on Roberto's now up by himself. He is framed by 2 ring lights that you can kind of see behind the action here. And
This
see
is a
whatever
very
we have going
professional
on.
setup.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Well, you know it's professional because I didn't ask for the first time until like about 2:50 what we were planning on doing about Roberto's camera.
Wait, so is he going to be in the podcast or no? I don't.
So Roberto, grab that bottle that's sitting behind you. Just as always, as
Not
we've done
sponsored.
Not sponsored, but for the last 6 episodes of the podcast, we have used this brand of tequila, which I won't say, but you can see there. Now, funny fact, this is the same bottle from Drinko de Mayo 6 because Corey and I don't drink very much, and especially not tequila.
Yes.
This is something that's been weighing on me here recently because I've really been thinking, when was the last time I drank?
Yeah.
Because usually I have a few big drinking holidays that get me prepared for this, with like St. Patrick's Day, Opening Day.
By the way, can we start the game? Because y'all have been saying the words a lot. Okay.
That's why we do it before.
That's why we get it out of the way up front. So, yeah, I am going to be especially careful this year because I don't think I've had a drink in months.
See, I have taken the opposite tact. I am planning on getting shit-faced. And once you do that, the goal is not to die. So
to survive for next day.
I really wish, by the way, having watched that intro video, that you had just sent me the clips of the last 3 minutes of Drinko de Mayo 1 and you from the day before. Because...
It was the day after.
By the way, if you guys don't come around early, like when you see us go live, I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, they don't kick off right away. We have a wonderful setup video for the first 10 minutes before we actually come live. And it lets us get the last few things organized. But it lets you enjoy some classic episodes, some of the other projects that we work on. And today's was especially fantastic.
Yeah, because we went into the vaults all the way back to episode 4 for the first Drinko de Mayo.
And Corey was in rare form.
The scream that Rob talks about all the time.
How did you guys even afford tequila back then?
So
were you drinking tequila?
Rob was a lawyer at that point.
I was a lawyer. Yeah, I mean, we didn't go back that far. Now,
and I was a manager of a successful restaurant.
I was gonna say the night that we were doing Need for Speed, I do believe it was not
good
nice,
tequila.
Good tequila.
No, it was the 7-Eleven tequila.
I'm pretty sure it was Montezuma.
It was. Pretty sure it was Montezuma. Montezuma Gold too, not even silver. Just terrible.
Which, by the way, is not even tequila.
And might be the source of us all getting COVID. Actually, that might actually we trace it back to 2002 with 3 and us.
Wouldn't it be funny if that was the antibody? It's like, have you ever had Montezuma ever? You're good.
You're fine.
No wonder nobody's getting sick around
here. All right,
here.
let's start this stupid game.
Okay. All right. So you guys know the rules. We have a list of banned words. Roberto has gone through those. If we say one of the words, the official judge sitting here to the center of your screen will ring the buzzer. And that will mean that someone has to imbibe. And they will be imbibing from these fantastic glasses gifted to us by friend of the show, Katia.
Yeah, from Mexico, from Chihuahua.
Actually, from Chihuahua.
Yeah, from Chihuahua, with Pancho Villa's image, which has nothing to do with Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
No. But I watched, sidebar, already starting off, watched for the first time Pancho Villa as himself. Fantastic movie, even though it's from the mid-90s or whatever. It's been in my HBO queue for a while. So anyway, the alarm goes, someone must imbibe, and then we continue on. The counter at the bottom will change. I don't have a counter for Roberto because I assume we need to keep his wits about him, and he should not be.
I will just do the ceremonial first drink, and then maybe 1 or 2 in between.
Yeah, whenever you feel like it.
And I must stress.
No pressure.
I must stress for those of you who missed the intro video.
Please, for the love of God, we're gonna do this in stereo. Do not, under any circumstances, play this game at home.
You should not. We have a live studio audience, and we've advised them several times not to try and drink along with us. Now, listen, I think Drinko de Mayo 5 went really well. I think overall, at one point, we were actually just taking a bonus shot midway through just to make sure.
Well, like we had gotten so good about not saying the words at a point that we were just throwing them in there just to like, oh no, we got caught. Like,
but one was bad. One was, I think Corey did 17 in
Yeah.
an hour,
Yeah.
which is not healthy.
that's not a recommended amount of tequila.
And I think 4 was the first one we did here in California. And there's a picture of him hugging the toilet after the episode that another friend of the show had as her phone background for several months.
Because why wouldn't you?
So
I'm pretty sure there was a Instagram. By the way, if you're not following O The Anthem on Instagram, tonight is going to be the night because there's going to be all kinds of stories about drunken shenanigans after this.
Well, no, I mean, it's going to be me passed out for the next 6 hours, and I'll wake up right as rain. It'll be fine. I'm basically a Rachel. I just have to sleep first.
All right, let's enough of all this stuff.
Yep.
All right, I was just trying to burn some
camera.
time.
Right there.
Cheers to you, everyone.
Everybody.
Cheers
Jesus
to you.
Christ.
All right.
Too late now.
You know what? Not so bad.
Not bad at all.
I didn't.
In fact, you top me up there, would you?
Yeah, I got you.
I
This is
feel
part of
like-
my job. This is part of
I
the
feel
reason
like there's
why.
a banned word coming up.
This is part of the reason why.
I will say, you'll notice that my chaser here is it's in a Fat Tuesday cup, and I don't know about you, Corey. I cannot wait to go back to Las Vegas. I have been watching the news coverage. Excited to go back to Las Vegas.
Because why not?
But
Let's just reopen the whole thing.
Especially because the mayor seems like she's got things well in hand.
in hand. But it has apple juice in it. And if you went to McKeeb's, which was a place outside of Hofstra University, and asked for this particular beverage mixed in this particular mixture, they would say, hey, you've just asked for a Rob Cheek.
Yes.
Which was the one and only time I've ever had a drink named after me at any place. And
out of all the drinks, it had to be tequila and apple juice.
Well, because I was the only cheap asshole who would just be like, what?
There was a mention.
Aha!
What did I say?
One of the legacy words.
Yep.
Well, see, I was
The
planning on
first
doing
time
that
I've
anyway.
ever had a blank named after me.
No. I at a restaurant at all, and I was planning on doing this at the end of my little spiel anyway.
My dream is to have the sandwich named after me. To go into like a New York deli and have like a sandwich of some kind.
It's fat kid status right there. Fat kid status. But
I
Mazel tov.
just want there to be a Corey Baker
Cheers.
on the wall.
Salud. That's what you need to start saying salud every time you're going to take a shot. This is the Cinco de Mayo celebration. All right? So every time you're going to take a drink, it's going to be salud.
I want to be particularly hateful to the culture by saying everything except for salud.
Okay.
When I imbibe. Also, we ask, I don't know, maybe 40 times before the show started to just make sure that any reactions to the show are great. Laughter, fantastic. Just not any noise that's not related to it. And it took exactly 13 minutes and 40 seconds. And the very first silence for us to be interrupted.
Definitely need to start talking about the topics, though. 'Cause
Yes.
we're 13 minutes in.
So let me, I got to update the counters here. So why don't you two get us into our, you know what? First, we'll do this. First, we will do this because we actually have one. We actually have a story to talk about this week, Corey. I'm very excited about it. So let's
Yes. In a article with the Players Tribune, Trey Mancini finally let the people know what took him away from the ball club earlier in spring training, and it is cancer. So
What kind of cancer?
I don't want to get this wrong.
cancer.
Yeah, it was like intestinal or
Bowel.
something like that. Yeah.
bowel cancer.
And obviously, there's not really that much to say when something like this happens, other than to say that we're all pulling for him, and we hope that he gets better soon, and that his recovery is not too impacted by the current state of affairs.
Has there been any speculation at all as to when he might be able to?
I mean, he said that if there were a season this year, he doubts he would be able to play.
Yeah.
That might mean that perhaps they would medically clear him in August, and then it's going to take him like 3 weeks to get up to baseball shape. And then what point are you getting ready for 3 weeks of a otherwise meaningless season? Like, it just seems like there's more opportunity to rush him back and get to it that way, you know, like to cause chaos that way. So I would like to think that if there is a season this year, that it is going to be without Trey, regardless of whether or not.
How far along would we be in, right? We're only 2 months in to the season that's going to last 5 more months. Right?
Well, I mean, like, so he's in the middle of chemotherapy and stuff like that right now.
So that's going to run him at least 2.5 months. And then to get back in shape would be another 2.5 months. So,
yeah. I mean, like, and it's not like he cleared the day he's done with chemo. He's just like, I'm perfectly in fit shape to play baseball.
Absolutely not.
Like, it would take him a while to not only get like his stroke back, but also to just get into the actual shape it takes to play athletics at a level like that.
He probably has to be particularly careful right now with the virus going on.
Well, that's the other thing too. He talked about in the article how difficult it is because nobody's allowed to be there with him. So he's basically all by himself and like getting chemo, which is already, from what I've been told by people who've gone through it, like a very isolating experience to begin with. It's tough when you are literally the only person who's allowed to be anywhere close to you.
I mean, isolating. You said isolating. You can't say isolation.
Oh, I think it counts.
Come on. I think it counts.
Yeah, I think it counts.
I think it counts.
Oh, a round of applause for the Peanut Gallery. Thank you. No, feel free. Feel free to loudly. One more time. Can we get that? Thank you. Yes.
Salud.
There you go. I feel very useful in this episode.
Update this little guy right here. Okie doke. It makes you feel all warm in
your
your chest.
How quickly I forget. That's the
Great for
worst
the voice.
But
I'm just like, I don't have to worry about it. What am I going to say here?
The problem is there is no good time for this to happen. And when you are having a shortened season or a lost season, maybe that you could say that's the best time. But he's like, what, 24? 25?
28? 28, I think, yeah.
Still, that is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Just
terrible.
Not good. And I feel a little bad because we joked about a lower body injury when
Well,
Caleb
I mean,
Joseph,
we were doing it in the a hockey sense.
Yeah.
The idea that
well, no, because Caleb Joseph had one a couple of seasons ago,
yeah.
and they were just like, it's a lower body injury, and we joked about that one, and then turns out, lost a ball. And you're like, oh.
I wish I hadn't joked.
Yes, yeah. And then
you know what,
our lesson, and
I was listening to stories all this week. The Baseball Tonight podcast has had these great contributors who aren't like players or coaches or something like that, but people like ancillary Joe West, the umpire, or the groundskeeper at Fenway Park, and Janet Marie Smith, who designed Camden Yards and now works at Dodger Stadium. All these people had really interesting things to say and told stories that like they couldn't ever tell at the time, but after a certain amount of time passes, it becomes acceptable again.
Yeah.
So like one day when we're 60, we're gonna have big laughs about Caleb Joseph's injury, and I'm sure he will too. Like eventually, one of these days.
I don't think that he will. No.
I don't know if that's the kind of
I don't think he ever.
one of
these
these
topic you're.
I feel like you have to make some sort of
point.
peace with it, right? Like
No. I think that's he's gonna be like a vet. You're gonna look back on that and just be like, it's a dark time. I
don't want to talk about this.
You go away somewhere and you're just hearing like the crack of the bat and like gloves.
Hello,
and then,
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, no, not good.
Gloves, bro.
Oh, come on. No, we said we weren't using that one.
No, you said it at the beginning of the episode. It wasn't on the list, but you were looking at the other list. That is your fault.
It's not on the list. I'm looking at the list right now.
The list you read out loud at the beginning of the episode included masks and gloves, which doesn't count.
I said my goal is to get fucked up. You're just helping me.
There you go. There you go.
All right. What's another one?
The
Donka?
No, not
Slante.
Slancha.
Slancha.
yeah.
I should know that.
And then the Russian one, that's Dostoevsky.
Das Vidanya.
Whatever.
Slancha.
Slancha. For all our Jewish viewers.
That's Irish.
It's Irish.
That's what I said.
Anywho, that's
racist.
that's really all there is to say about Trey, I think, at this time. I just, if nothing else, we wanted to send the thoughts that we're thinking of him, especially in this time where we don't have baseball. that I think that it's important for him to just think about getting healthy.
Yes.
And don't worry about us. We're all here to support him whenever he's good and ready to come back.
Yes, Trey. As we sit here getting shit-faced in our living room, our thoughts go out to you. But
this one's for you.
yes. But yeah, and I wish that there was other sports ball news. But the draft we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And usually there would be 2 sports going on at least right now.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's the problem is that everything that we could talk about is hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, maybe we're going to play basketball in just Vegas and Orlando. And
okay, cool.
Like, great. That sounds wonderful. Just how and when and like at what point do you have testing to do this? So I don't.
Maybe we're gonna play Cactus League baseball.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
gonna be it. Okay, cool. That I would like that, but who knows? I guess we'll see. But I don't want to talk about hypotheticals. I think that's just not a good use of time. So I think it is time that we close on up this segment. And I really hate running these splashes back to back. But next up is 4-year Oh wait, that's right.
We should have done that one when we were doing modeling that one time.
The what?
The
4-year consideration.
4-year consideration.
Yeah.
We've been waiting
to
to
shoot
shoot
it, but then you went to
7
Mexico.
months ago when Corey was like, I'm finally offset, guys. I have time to work on it. It's going to be done.
Hey, if we have time to do it, now is the time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. The 2 of you. I'm even out of here. I'm not even a distraction anymore.
So moving on to 4-year consideration.
3's a lot.
Big changes in the Academy Awards because of the age that we live in.
What's wrong with the age that we live in, Corey?
It makes it a little bit difficult to go to theaters.
How so?
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has decided that they are going to basically waive the qualification of playing in the LA theater for at least 2 weeks. I think is the current standard. It's either 1 week or 2.
Yeah, you have to have 14 days.
Yeah, and
it has to have a run in a major city.
It's got to be LA.
Does it have to be LA?
Yes.
I thought it was a major city because didn't one get in by going to Dallas for 2 weeks?
No. Well, so there are qualifiers that are for like short films and international feature films and stuff like that.
Okay.
That can sort of get into a berth to be considered if they play at a major festival.
Okay.
But for a feature film that would be available for one of the awards in any of the categories other than those, they have to have a run in a Los Angeles theater for either 1 or 2 weeks. It might be 3. And I think there's also restrictions or like also things about like you have to have a billboard advertisement for a month prior to the release of that project as well.
That has to be in LA.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like the idea that when you're going along and all of a sudden you see a Trolls World Tour like billboard, it's just like, oh, that's just so they can get nominated for an Academy Award. Like,
Yeah.
That's why they're doing that.
Have they said anything about the dates? Are they planning on changing? I'm kind of curious if this situation goes on for long enough.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would attempt to do some sort of like streamed version of the show. How so many shows are kind of now adapting to like, oh yeah, let's just do a show where we're all on webcams. And
something tells me that by that point, at the very least, they would be able to sort of create the Academy Awards in a like not have the live show with everyone sitting there, but sort of create a backdrop that actors can come to a studio and film their introductions and them reading the thing and then them playing packages to get you between. And
you could do the Globes, really. Like the people who you are sitting with at the Globes a lot of times are your friends.
Yeah.
Or it's people you brought with you. So
like,
you could do that.
Hypothetically, I imagine the Oscars are much like every organization, which is just trying to think for as long as humanly possible before they can have to make some sort of decision. Yeah. They would the best version of this is that there's a what do you call it? Vaccine in 2 months, like just ingenuity just like pushes through and it's just like we found the vaccine and it's everything's good. And then they can have the Academy Awards without any kind of concern. But, that doesn't look likely.
Well, Fauci said January. Then,
just get everyone shot up before the
on your way in, so you're doing the red carpet, like, hi, everyone, how are... Yeah, no, good. All right, we're good to go. Everybody, head on in.
Everyone go get your temperature checked.
Oh yeah, I guess get your temperature checked, get a shot.
Fauci's there right behind the scanner, the metal detector that you have to go through.
I mean, the problem is everybody's been at.
By the way, Roberto, if we ever go to the Academy Awards, don't bring your knife.
Yes, please.
Please.
Look, at that point, I'm gonna be big enough to be able to bring my knife.
No,
and nobody say anything
no,
about
you will not. No.
Okay, well.
What,
Robert Redford can't bring his knife.
In case Robert Redford makes a move.
Clint Eastwood just gets a little crazy, starts pointing a gun at a chair. You're gonna have to take him down.
Yeah, you never know.
To be fair, by the time
this
Robert makes it to the Oscars, I don't think Robert Redford will be around anymore. So
No.
it's probably
he'll still be around for a while. I'm more worried about Clint Eastwood if that's the case.
But listen, this is only good for the streaming services. They've been looking for a way in. They've been trying to work the rules to try and show their stuff somewhere. Now they may not even have to do that. What are the odds we see nothing but Netflix, Amazon at the Oscars in 2021?
No,
something tells me that they're going to figure out some sort of way to get some of these movies that would have been early favorites into some sort of streaming service to get it out there.
Well, that's what they did with the Trolls World Tour. Apparently, it did surprisingly well for.
Well, so
financially, I mean, for the fact that
we'll have to get to this at another time where we have a little bit more time to unpack it. But this week,
and where Corey doesn't have to be so careful about.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not really worried about saying anything here, but I'm saying the beginning and the end of theatrical distribution as a medium by which we take in movies might have seen one of its first major blows this week with the Trolls World Tour situation. Because AMC is now saying Universal is persona non grata at the theaters all across the globe. And while you think $100 million is really good for this Trolls movie, there's extenuating circumstances that are making it more likely that parents will just pay to have a new movie for their kids to watch at home.
The benefit of AMC is that you go there and AMC gets all of the extras, not the ticket. They don't care about the door. They care about you bringing your 5 kids. By the way, breeders,
getting popcorns and
stop it. Why do you need 5 kids? You're part of the problem. But yes, getting the popcorn and the candy and sodas for your 5 little munchkins, and that's what they want. So if you can take a movie like Trolls directly to streaming, why would AMC doesn't get any of that, and you get almost all of the box office you get otherwise?
All I'm saying is that people seem to have forgotten that not too long ago, the Justice Department said that they were going to look to overturn certain parts of Paramount for US v. Paramount.
Yeah.
Which is what kept theater from distribution companies or production companies from owning theaters. So right now, maybe somebody at Universal is feeling like they can maybe be a little bit more ballsy about this situation, because if AMC goes into bankruptcy protection, which might happen very soon, then there's a chance for a hostile takeover from Universal to, it's Comcast who owns Universal.
Yep.
So we can, no, wait a minute.
Yes, NBC Universal.
Yeah, that's right.
NBC, Comcast, Universal.
Man, I can just get. I can't stop thinking about the 5 kids thing. Can you imagine the bill, like how much it would be to take 5 kids to the theater, and buy them all popcorn and soda? Yeah. Like you'd be looking at a $200-300 bill.
Now, my mom told me once that like the things you don't think about when you're the kid. But taking me and my sister to the movies was never just taking me and my sister. It was taking us plus one friend for each of us, and then all in candy, sodas, popcorn, the whole 9. It was $150 in the 90s.
Well, also, you don't want to be the parent who tells the kid about the realization of how things cost money and how it's not as disposable as that. Like, because I've definitely been in the situation where I've been with kids who've had the parents go like, "Oh, we can't do popcorn and candy," and like they just don't get it. Like that's always tough to.
Tough conversation.
Rationalize when you're a child.
Yeah.
That got deep all of a sudden.
And we do the, we, to avoid the $150, did the, let's go to Dollar Tree and grab some candy and stick it in mom's purse, the big old bag that would take everything in it.
You're going to search me? I'm a teacher.
Well, no, because remember back then, things were much better. They didn't actually search bags.
Oh, yeah.
You'd walk in there with the big fluffy coat and the guy would just be like, come on, man. He's not going to search you. He's going to let you go in.
Just like,
Funny-
why are you flaunting it?
You're just walking. Like,
No,
like
I
all the-
remember
the
frankly,
Raisinets in the box.
going in with
Just hearing it shake inside the.
my starter jacket and having like a bag of or a box of Raisinets in the front pocket of my starter jacket, and every step it was like, I'm like a damn maraca.
Yeah.
And the guy just looking at me like, come on, man, like, why? But you know.
At least do something. Like, at least try, you know.
It was 99, 2000. We weren't worried about guns and bombs everywhere, so they weren't searching us.
You know, funny story.
Plus, there's no
When I was,
I remember once I was at Towson Town Center for a movie, and I had literally I never bought more at the concession stand. I had popcorn, I had candy, I had a soda. I might have even gotten like a hot dog because I hadn't had lunch or something like that. And I'm like walking in the theater with my tray full of like purchased things from the snack bar, and some guy goes like, "Hey, we're randomly checking people to see whether or not they're smuggling in things." And I'm like holding the tray. I'm just like, "Fucker, why would I spend $30 at the concession stand and smuggle shit in? Like, what kind of sense does that make? Why are you asking me? Like, I gotta
you're trying
place
to-
this on top of a trash can and like open up my pockets and be like, nope."
Because then when he randomly searches everybody else, then it's like, well, we've searched that guy. I mean, come on, we're searching everybody.
Plus, that's a good way to I spent $30, but I have $50 worth of candy strapped into my body.
But you forget. Corey was like a very svelte teenager. He wasn't the man you see before you. The guy looked at that much food and was just like, "Hey, wait a second, buddy. Are you smuggling in a
This
person in your coat in there? Do you have your girlfriend?
This
walking
looks
in your pants in the
inconspicuous
background?"
here. No, funny story actually. When I was growing up, small town in Mexico, we actually didn't have a theater for a long time. But when we did, it was a really old theater that only had two screens, and one of them was always closed. Like, all I remember is it being closed and people saying that it was cursed. So we would only have one.
With a piano in the front and a guy in the back who had to turn the dial.
Yeah. Who had to
camera?
like crank it. He would fall asleep every now and then. But no, there was literally a point in time in which the theater had so little money. Like, they didn't have any money at all, and they were showing movies from like 2 years ago. That they would actually suggest people to bring their own snacks. Like, they didn't have concessions for a long time, so we would bring our own. Like, there were people coming in with pizzas. Like, they would buy like a whole pizza and just come into the theater and watch a movie. You know, so I mean, I'm not saying that should be the way it's done, but hell, that was a fun time.
Well,
right
I mean,
there.
listen, it's not. The world isn't a backwater Mexican village. We have. This is capitalism. We have a way that things work. We have to do
America.
things a certain way. But speaking of your hometown, how is everyone faring back at home
with what?
through these trying times?
With what? What do you mean?
You know, the trying times that the end times that we're going through now.
Okay. Actually, so in the town where I'm from, it's not terrible. There was a little bit of paranoia. So I was talking to my brother about a week or two ago, and he told me about this lady from an even smaller town that apparently got sick, and the doctors from that town said like, "Oh, it's just pneumonia. Let's just send her to my town, Caborca, to get checked." And then when he got there, she died. God rest her soul. But she died, and a week later after she died, the results came in, and she was virus positive. I was about to say that. So everybody started
you
freaking
can
out.
say whatever
because-
you want, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean,
if
he said
you
2 words, and I did not.
I mean, if
And
you
you said two
if
thus
you
far.
say it, then there's
what
maybe
did I
more of
say?
a likelihood that I will say
I
it.
did not say a single word.
No, you have. I haven't called you on it because you don't really count. If you want to, imbibe, feel free. But you are the judge and the jury
Okay, fine.
and the executioner, so you don't have to follow those rules.
I still don't think I have said anything. But anyways.
We'll check the tape.
But yeah, everybody started freaking out. But when it comes to the nation, like the entire Mexican nation, apparently we have a precedent in Mexico that, first of all,
Vicente Fox, I love him.
yeah. First of all, our president kept saying, probably until about a week or two ago, that there were no cases in Mexico. And cases were falsely reported as there not being any. So Mexico, for the longest time, was one of the countries with the least amount of cases for this. So,
By the way, I love that I have it on. I have the camera on Roberto, but Corey walks through the shot
what,
to get to the other side.
what are we?
And that wasn't
what
exactly
Is he trying to do?
I'll call it on myself.
Anyways,
I'll call it on myself. Nobody called it on me, but there you go.
what'd you say?
It's a different reference.
Fuck me.
Oh shoot, I said precedent too.
That was one of the two. I was using a different a homonym, if you will. But
Of what? President?
no, never mind. I'm not going to
By
say
the
it for a third time.
by the way, the reason why I just had and this one is broken too.
No. There is a sticker on the outside. I thought it was broken. It's not. There's a sticker on the outside.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Jesus
Are you
Christ.
sure?
So
Yes,
you went from the
100%.
good one to a broken one.
Yes. It's the sticker peeling. There was a sticker that went around the outside.
On the back?
Yes.
Yes.
They all
But-
have a sticker.
But a crazy person put these in the dishwasher.
And it
now
goes
the
all
sticker's
the way
starting
to the
peel.
top?
Yep. It goes all the way around the edge because the sticker that went all the way around. That these are
Well,
hand
apologies.
washed.
I worried that I was going to like at some point during the course of this thing like slam
it,
down
yeah.
the
No, these
the
are
glass and then it was going to shatter and get all over equipment.
these much like the very rare mug that I had from law school.
Right.
Are hand wash only.
Yeah.
But some crazy person who shall not be named put them in the dishwasher and now the stickers are peeling off. But Das Vidania.
Something like that. I don't know.
Moving on.
Moving on.
On to the topic of the week, the one that has all the words that the people wanted us to talk about.
Oh wait, I'm already. Oh, this is not good. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm bumping my counter.
This is how it starts.
Why is it 10? Why didn't it do 10? So,
The end.
So here's where I want to start.
yeah.
I had a conversation over the last 2 days with someone from high school.
Oh, yes.
And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. High school, people from your high school are not who you remember.
I love the pause in between. It's like,
Well, so here's the thing.
The
She's
pregnant
probably
buzz.
watching right now. And if she is, hello and how are you? And I hope everyone is well and taking care. But I didn't engage. It was an Instagram DM. I didn't engage just because there's no convincing people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just take a quote from it because this is what I said. I won't try to change your mind, but as the smartest person you know, I'm telling you, no. So I want to read this, and I want to gauge Corey's reaction. Corey, I'm going to put you solely up right here because I want to gauge your reaction as I read this. This is the conversation. OMG. Yeah, Maryland is getting crazy. People are forcing us to wear masks just to get in the store. I got yelled at the other day that it's the law now, in quotes. Like, what the fuck? I get being safe, but when its rights and freedoms are taken, that's when the shit gets real. I said, yeah, but you should wear a mask anyway. It's not really rights and freedoms, is it? Yeah, LOL. People should have the right not to wear it. This whole thing is BS, really. Not that there isn't a virus, but the government is preparing us for something bigger than that. The actual death rate from the virus itself is like 0.03%. And they want to scare people into thinking that being outside and stuff is going to kill people. In reality, it's zinc and UV rays that help build your immune system to fight it. They want to isolate people, kill their immune systems now, so that when they try to require people to have a certified vaccine, their bodies can't fight the stuff that they put in the vaccine. Plus, wearing a mask is not going to keep people from getting it. Just like the ventilators they have people on with the virus, it's harming their lungs more. Zinc and sunlight, that's the way to go. And I have been wearing a mask, but that's so I don't get a year in jail or a $5,000 fine that I can't afford. Oi, really? It's a direct quote.
I know.
I'm quoting.
I know.
Me saying, oi, really? Question mark. That's me being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
Mine is a word.
Yeah. Yep. I'd rather be in LA. Then I said, I won't try to change your mind, but as the smartest person you know, I'm telling you, no. My brother just told me that a 26-year-old died where he works. No prior medical problems. I do worry about my brother since he's in the line of fire. Then I said, because I'm an asshole, just tell him to grab some sunshine and zinc and he'll be fine. And no masks. Don't want him to ruin his lungs. LOL. It's the ventilators that are messing up people's lungs, not the masks. Face palm emoji. I have just heard a mixture of a lot of hype and then reality, and people are getting worked up over false things and not worrying about what's really going on.
Ooh.
Yes, there's a virus and it's killing people, but the numbers are not accurate because people are dying from heart attacks and strokes, and that they are still blaming it on the virus. That's what I'm saying. And I said, heard, quote unquote, meaning read on social media, right? Fuck no. I don't do social media. I only got this Instagram to do fitness classes. We read underground news that gets banned, LOL, like the chip that Bill Gates is working on right now that will go into the brain.
Oh, my.
When people lose their jobs because of the economy crashing from people not being able to go back to work, he will give them a job and pay them through cryptocurrency, a.k.a. the mark of the beast. But they won't tell you it's that. As far as the vaccine being forced
of the beast.
Yes.
being forced to take it to be able to work, buy food, etc. Oi. Underground news. Alex Jones, question mark? Well, Alex Jones is eccentric, so you can't believe everything, but certain things he says make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Something I don't recognize. My boyfriend pulls up his own articles that are hard to find. Then, let me just go back to the 3-shot. I put up the gif of Conceited, the rapper. Do you know that one?
Which one?
He's holding a red Solo cup, and he's like...
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I put up. That was my gif of choice. Sorry. Now going back. Like Tyson is shut down. Smithfield is run by China. And some areas, farmers are being made to kill their livestock. Don't give me that look, LMAO. So you tell me your take on this if you say I'm all wrong. I said, none of that is true, though. Watch the podcast today. Blah, 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 blah. So you don't believe that there will be a power outage or a food shortage or food supply being inflated? Like the toilet paper, for instance. Like so many people are worried about that, and you can't find soap or hand sanitizer. It's being held in a warehouse. Not that they don't have it. It's just being barred from stores right now. Which also makes me wonder why people haven't been properly washing their hands and sanitizing before all this mess. Have you gotten the gist?
Yeah. Is there some other? Is there something this is building towards that I won't see coming, or is it pretty much party line from here?
I mean, yeah, it goes on like that for a while.
I don't think I got this particular line out when we had talked about it during the protest episode, but I will say this. I have traditionally been one of the first people to choose the opportunity to say my rights are being taken away. I like that one. If anyone was willing to take away a First Amendment right from me, how quickly would I?
First Amendment. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
how quickly would you get upset and then not do anything? Absolutely, that's Corey. How dare you take that away? But okay, I guess.
But oh well.
I mean, really, I tell you guys
stay
about
at home
it a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, you bitch to us all the time, and then nothing actually happens. You go to the Women's March and get into a drum circle with some people, and then nothing happens.
Step away to smoke a cigarette, and I
yeah.
come back and it's just a nightclub. I was like, what happens? No, it unnerves me that everything has to have a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, and the reason oftentimes is somebody who has a lot of money and the ability to influence the way that people talk about things has the ability to shape the conversation. Part of the reason why the dum on 1600 Pennsylvania.
This is not fair. This is not
What?
fair. He's got the list pulled up in his screen and
I
he's
know.
looking at it.
I know. He's
rule.
making sure he
I know
does.
rule
I
against
understand.
it.
No, I know.
Okay,
Listen,
all right.
listen. He is Karen. All right. You told him what the rules are, and he is following the rules distinctly. He pulled the list up, and now he's not going to say any of the words.
Okay. Well.
Meanwhile,
That
I've
I
imbibed
mean,
a lot,
really,
I'm sweaty,
I'm
this is turning bad real quick.
really, I just wanted to avoid saying the word president because I didn't want to associate him with that particular office. But okay.
Not that was necessary because he was already taking the shot, but I have only one job. Oh.
That was the third time that you've said it. Now this is the first time I'm calling you out on it.
Okay, fine.
You don't need to do that.
You don't have. I mean, you have to be the referee. We need to keep your wits about you.
It's okay. I am built to withstand a lot more tequila than you guys.
No, but
than you guys are. But still,
what I'm getting at here is that the man at 1600 doesn't. He gets to sort of shape the conversation a little bit because he has a huge stage in which people listen.
Yes.
Much like if you are the CEO of Procter & Gamble, you have a lot of money, you have a lot of influence, you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of ability to make something. If we wanted to get out to as many people as possible that we were having this episode of the podcast today, our best bet is advertising on various platforms. I mean, like, really
hiring Cambridge Analytica and running a Facebook ad.
I mean, we could hire a publicist or something like that,
Yeah.
but we're never going to be able to have Procter and Gamble money for it. Like, we can't spend $50 million getting the word out about the podcast.
And Procter and Gamble does 10 different campaigns looking at a bunch of different groups and focuses that right campaign to the right group.
Or if it has anything to do with pharmaceuticals, they get the money back that they spend on the commercials and tax
of course.
tax breaks. So
because they're educating the public about
about the possible cure of some disease that you have.
Sure.
I just don't. Most things don't require the tinfoil hat treatment. Like that's basically, if you find yourself quickly blaming Soros or the Koch brothers or something like that for
now the Koch brothers,
each and every little thing that goes on. I mean, like, if you can tie something to the Kochs have bought or have put a lot of money into this super PAC, which is just running ads talking about how
Beto's terrible.
Right, whatever.
That's a direct connection I can get with. They don't like him. Yes.
Right.
And of course they're trying to get him not
But if
elected.
you're doing the Soros has, mind control serum injected into everybody's Coke Zeros, and that's how he's getting to all the people because everyone's drinking Coke Zero. If you think you're drinking Coke, but it's really Coke Zero. It's all part of this elaborate, conspiracy to pump the Coke Zero numbers and everything like that. Like,
If you're drinking Coke Zero.
Hey, we got another roar. Yay, another roar clip. By the way, this and each episode from the last 6 years is available at a web link that I'll give you at the end of the show. But they're all available up there. Make sure you check them out there.
I can't because apparently one year we decided that the actual name of the episode, which we say from time to time, is no longer acceptable because
I remember
it includes portion of the word. I feel like there should be an
exception for that.
Exception for that one because I would have said it like 3 or 4 times by now. But
I agree, but we didn't speak about that
prior,
previous to the show. Yes, prior to the show.
To the show. Oh my God, I think it's getting there.
Oh boy, here we go. All right.
This is gonna be a fun night tonight.
Here's the thing. In this conversation that I read, there was an implication of the White House, both houses of Congress,
right,
leaders who back the Democratic Party, leaders who back the Republican Party, and magnates of major corporations, including Bill Gates and Microsoft, and apparently toilet paper companies, which is, by the way, there's not one. There are 4 different companies that manufacture the 4 different kinds of toilet paper that you know.
Let me, real quick, Mark Warner is head of intelligence, right? Senate Intelligence?
Sure, yes.
Or it's something like that.
Didn't know where you were going with it. But yeah, he is the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee.
But he's one of the biggest names in the Senate.
Yes.
He's on a lot of important committees. He does, his name is everywhere.
Which is why he was chosen by
Hillary?
No, he wasn't Hillary's running mate. The other guy was.
I thought that's where you were thinking.
No. He was.
They're both in Virginia.
He was a libertarian or somebody. He was floated as a vice presidential thing, and he was just like, "No, not me," because they just were like, "We're gonna get a guy who knows all the secrets." Mark Warner's on all of these.
Presidential.
Oh God! All right.
A round of applause from the crowd.
You guys got to be louder with it. Come on. Thank you.
I can't hear you.
Here we go. Salud, but in Italian, not Spanish.
Oh, Jesus. By the way, it's Nazdrovia. I remembered. In Russian.
Getting back to it, though. Mark Warner, important person in the Senate, released a video on his Instagram early on in this whole time of aloneness that we were in, and showed everyone how he makes a tuna sandwich. And it's the most unusual, stupid thing ever, and it got him huge amounts of traffic. And apparently, the conversation that was going around the halls of the Senate the following day was, how do we have a Mark Warner tuna sandwich moment on our Instagram?
Yeah.
How does Cory Booker have a tuna sandwich moment on his? How do you break free of the monotony of just general internet gobbledygook?
Yeah.
To get people to say like, oh, did you see what Cory Booker did? Like, how do we break free? And everyone's trying to figure it out at the same time. And people who have more advantages have more advantages to push this out.
No.
What?
And here's the thing. The people are watching that video because there is back channel stuff that's like, Mark Warner is sending secret messages to agents all over the world, and we want to intercept the messages that are in that Instagram
That's
video.
why I put the tuna on the sandwich and then slop the mayo on top. Like,
did you see how
didn't
when
even
he
mix
when
it
he,
before?
When he was putting it on the bread, he did 1 to the left, 2 to the right. That is Morse code. All right? Do you see the way that he's putting it on there? It's Morse code. He's sending secrets out.
And not only that, but I feel like it's also one of those things where if someone, a famous person or a person of renown, if he starts doing something very unusual online, people are immediately going to be like, "Whoa, what is he doing? Oh my God, I need to see this."
The important thing now.
Everybody, look at what he's
doing.
doing.
What bothers me is that people don't like to think about. They want to turn away from the major media companies, and I understand why, because there are implicit biases and stuff like that.
Yes,
reading all of these different publications.
Watch BBC.
You can usually, if you do it properly, you can usually find a couple articles on MSNBC and a couple articles on Fox News about the same topic, and read both of them and figure out where in the middle you stand, like where between these two opposing poles is the real story.
Yeah.
But I like to my basis as to whether or not I'm going to share a piece of news is either it's said directly by the person involved or firsthand knowledge of somebody involved in the situation overall. Tara Reid is a great example of somebody I don't necessarily need to hear the other side of that story. I'm good with just the one side of it to get it out there. But further than that, if the New York Times wrote a story that said Mark Warner drowns puppies in the river, then they are going to get sued before the end of business.
Yeah.
And if it turns out that they just wrote something randomly because they didn't feel like checking on it, then Mark Warner would get a huge judgment for that sort of thing. The reason why people don't sue the real news and you can trust it because it's on the internet.com is because you find out who owns this site, and then it's just
it's us.
It's some anonymous person in the Czech Republic, and you're just like, well, how the fuck am I going to sue this person?
It's just like, a couple of broke dicks in L.A., and they're like, what are going to take your apartment?
The fucking 15 people who see this isn't worth the lawsuit or the cease and desist that my lawyer is going to have to spend 8 hours trying to find this person and blah, blah. Like, it's not...
It's going to cost more for me to draft it than I will ever get from this dry hole.
And they get to post the cease and desist on their website going, we've really gotten Mark Warner,
But here's the thing.
fascist commie pigs are running for the hills now. Like
all of the this stuff that has been listed in this Instagram message, by the way, all of these parties are somehow incorporated in a vast conspiracy to manipulate the American people. Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the Oval Office, and the nation knew about it 12 weeks later, 15 weeks later. And you're telling me that all of these important people...
I knew casually about Harvey probably like 8 years before the news broke. And I'm not saying like I knew personally like he did anything, but
I was around.
I was aware enough of the conversation of people dropping little like, like, well, at least I wasn't Harvey last night or something like that to understand where this reference was coming from. Yeah. Like it was easy enough to sort of pick up on the shorthand of it.
Well, and I know you just mentioned it. I want to jump down there since we just talked about Tara Reid.
Yeah.
And for those in the audience, whether they're here or in the world around us, this is not actress Tara Reid from the early 2000s. This is a different Tara Reid who is probably now in her 40s, likely, since she was in her early 20s in 93. So that would be
30 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 50s now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was an aide in the office of then Senator Joe Biden.
Right.
and has alleged to people from time to time about an incident that occurred, although publicly has only acknowledged that there was an inappropriate relationship. Now, you had a...
With whom, for those who don't know?
What's that?
Who relationship?
The
inappropriate?
former senator of Delaware.
With the former senator of Delaware.
And now presumptive presidential nominee for... Fuck me. I was trying to figure out every word I could use.
Thank you.
That really makes it. I think the round of applause really makes it for me. That's why I enjoy it so much.
What's the count as?
The account is right now 5-5.
Oh, wow.
I felt all the liquefaction of that like seep into the pores in my skin. Like it just
So
radiated
warm.
out.
It's amazing. So you had an interesting take on this earlier this week, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to defend it or change it. Now,
I don't know if the take is so interesting. It's just that I really want to. I want Tara Reid to have her opportunity to have this whole situation. I want to. I'm figuring out how to say this without words.
he's looking at the list of words. He's comparing it. He's thinking. There's a lot of tequila swinging around up there.
Tara Reid deserves justice. If there was something that happened to her that is unacceptable, I do not think that if this was a court of law, I don't feel like the threshold has necessarily been met based off of the evidence that's currently out there. Like for something that happened almost 30 years ago, I don't feel like there's ever going to be a truly satisfying end to this. Like there's not going to be the one memo.
I mean, arguably Joe Biden had a satisfying end.
Well, I mean, like, you know, holy shit. Oh man,
I should probably put us all back on camera if I'm going to be saying things like that. Hey, and it's a satisfying end for me because his campaign's basically over if this works out. So
I think that we should look into these allegations, and I don't think that there's sort of been some talk I've been hearing about, like, well, Trump has had fucking 20 different allegations against him, so why are we sort of like
freaking out now about
why are we prepared to throw Joe into the same level of abuser that Trump is just because of the situation, just because of an allegation. And I don't think it's necessarily an eye for an eye. It's just like,
yeah, but
if you're an awful person who does awful things, then that's the
American electoral system.
Is that what that is? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, honest to God, I don't feel like I wanted somebody who never molested anybody. Like,
is that too much to ask for?
Yeah,
that was part of my like thought process going in, because I thought that there was at least a chance of this with Joe's actions for the previous 70 years that he's been alive. Like,
no, there was no chance. He has run for election in 6 decades, and he has ruined every single one of those attempts with some sort of assault allegation. Yeah. Inappropriate allegation.
Well, the thing is, it's different. When it comes to, I feel like a lot of it has been, a lot of the Joe's campaign or the whole like thing backing him is that, oh, he's different. Like, he's not a Donald Trump and he would never,
No, he is.
So I know, but what I'm saying is they've handled it this way for so long that anything that pops up at this point is going to be like, oh my God, I thought he was different. And it becomes a thing. When the current commander-in-chief has done so many things or said so many things and gets away with it, kind of already expect it.
If we're talking about the baseline humanity that's required to be
our
the chief executive,
low.
Then I don't feel like the actions of either one of these men of what they've been accused of is necessarily appropriate for that
No.
position.
Absolutely.
But
It's election 2020. Pick the red-colored 60-year-old white male rapist or the blue-colored 60-year-old
70.
white male rapist. Like, okay, they're actually both in their 70s, right? Yeah, they're both. I'm sorry. They're both white and male and in their 70s. Can we fucking do something about this, please?
I mean,
I hate that my argument is somehow going to involve the white Jewish 80-year-old man, and I hate that, but at this point, maybe he's a choice. He hasn't even touched his wife in the last 20 years, let alone anyone else. Can we please look at another option? How about this? Let's go with the 40-year-old gay white man, and maybe that's a good possibility on top of it. Just anything different. How about this? We had 5 people of color in this election, and we knocked all of them out real early on. Here's the solution.
You know what
Citizens United, let's get that out of there. And I'm going to say it and you're going to hate me, Corey. Guillotines, that's the solution.
Or perhaps
Yes. Can we isolate that after the show? Guillotines. Oh, God. The homonyms are killing me today. All right. What was it? Nostradamus?
Nostradamus. Just go with Nostradamus.
No, was it?
I kind of feel like Nostradamus because I thought this was going to be a bad idea, and it is a bad idea. No, there is a part of me that wishes that we lived in a society that was a little bit more like, is it Italy that has
Soviet Russia, yes.
No, Italy has like 80 different political parties and
does not have a functional democracy.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying like they have 80 different political parties,
Yes.
and like every single one of them gets an opportunity to like express themselves on the national news to like.
We're getting a third party now, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, no. So Italy's thing is that it has 80 parties, but it has so many small districts that usually every party will elect at least one member.
Yeah.
And then so let's say that there's 100 seats. That means that you have 80 people, and then the ruling party has a majority of 20 seats. And now you have to find a coalition to make a government. And then on any little issue, half of your coalition is like, nope, we don't agree. We're breaking the government. And then they go back and they have to reform a new government.
I'm not saying it's a perfect system.
It's certainly not. They don't have a functional
how
democracy.
about this? More than 2 choices.
Yes. Let's find an even ground somewhere between 2 and 80.
You know how excited I was to vote for Gary Johnson on the chance that he was going to get to 5%.
Yeah.
Just the chance that he was going to get to. I was like, why would I vote for Hillary? It doesn't make any sense. I can get Gary Johnson to 5 and we can get a third party in here.
Yes.
What the fuck do I care if the libertarians don't understand how
when
to
was
run
the
a government?
last time that there was actually 3 parties running?
Teddy Roosevelt.
No.
Perot.
I'm going to leave this to you guys. Who do you think?
I'm asking the question. I have no idea.
What year,
I didn't live here.
What year do you?
What
no,
are we?
You were living here.
What are we constituting a third party?
Federally qualified third party.
That won an electoral vote or something like that?
No,
I mean,
that was running.
No.
That
Let's
got
make it
to-
one an electoral.
well, I
vote.
mean, that
All
was
right.
running. There was like fucking 80 people who ran for president last
That
year.
won an
Joe
electoral
Exotic was running last year.
that won an electoral vote.
Oh God.
And
I
it
really
was in
can't
your
think.
lifetime. It was
I'm
since you've been in
not
your
talking
life.
about my lifetime, but
Did
I
Perot
didn't
win a
live
vote?
here for.
Yes,
Did he?
but it's not him.
Oh, it's not Perot.
No,
Was it Nader?
actually, it was Nader. But
No.
it wasn't Nader who I was thinking. Of.
Nader didn't win a.
No, he didn't win an electoral vote.
Who did? I can't even think of it.
Pat Buchanan under Perot's party in '96.
He won an electoral.
He got
Where?
an
I was 4 years old. Seriously.
Yeah, you're alive. It's your lifetime. Huh?
Where did he win it?
Florida or no.
Because I mean, like, if he won like Florida, he would get 27
it was
electoral votes.
like Maine or Nebraska or one of the ones that
splits.
Splits.
So
And
he
picked
got
up
like
one.
half of Maine or something like that.
No, not even that. Like he literally got one electoral vote.
Right, but I'm
And-
saying like half. Maine splits it in half. Like,
Well, no, and Nebraska doesn't do an even split. Nebraska does by. We split by. So
Yeah.
if usually it's half because there are only 2 people running, so each
Right.
person gets half. But Nebraska and Montana and a couple of states do that.
Well,
But
they
usually
also
it
have
doesn't-
3 electoral votes.
Right.
So
And usually it doesn't matter because they're all going one way anyway, so
Yeah.
it votes all together. But then, you pick up Montana and you pick up 1 electoral vote in Montana because you've picked off enough of the vote. To get but so did Ross Perot. Ross Perot had electoral votes.
I feel like that's not right. I feel like we're going to have to double check that. I
Double
feel
check
like
it.
Perot got close to getting
No, he
electoral votes, but didn't actually win any electoral
He had
votes.
to because there's no way to get 5% of the vote and not pick up an electoral vote.
But he was an independent. He was a
But he
straight
got 5%.
party
No,
independent.
he got 5% of the vote because in '96 he had a federally recognized party. That's the last time we had a federally recognized party.
What was the party?
The Great America Party. And
Was
they
it?
pushed the candidate Pat Buchanan in 1996. Yes.
I thought he.
Dole, Clinton, Buchanan, 96.
So hold on a second, because this might be interesting to nobody but me and Rob.
Sure.
Because we're going to get into constitutional theory of
Yes.
running for the office of the executive.
Not even constitutional theory, but yes.
I really don't think he won a single vote though,
Yes.
because like.
Perot?
He didn't have an independent party. He was running as a
Perot?
quote unquote independent. Like it was
Perot
just like it
won-
wasn't a party attached thing.
Yes.
It was just
no,
an
he
independent.
was running as his own party. He was an independent, but it was the Great America Party. He was the candidate for the Great America Party, which was an independent third party at the time. He picked up more than 5%. Clinton won in 92 with 42% of the vote. He did not get a majority. He got a majority of the electoral votes, but he didn't get he got a plurality of electoral votes.
Well,
No, he got a majority.
until I check this to confirm one way
Sure.
or the other, I'm
Let's
still
just-
going to claim that Teddy Roosevelt was the last person to actually get electoral college victories.
And
Because
if that is
as
in
a
fact
poll
your
news-
position, you are still wrong because in 1948, Strom Thurmond also got electoral votes
fucking Strom Thurmond coming out of left field
with the Dixiecrat Party.
Oh, fucking!
Why do you challenge me, son? If I don't beat you, I still beat you. That's right. Anyway, so that little bit of electoral history is brought to you by 1800 Tequila. So nobody cares. But this year we have.
I always like how
feel
I
like-
put my keyboard so far away, so I'm sure I'm on camera, looking like, hi.
What's great though is I feel like a lot of people, much like our live audience here tonight, a lot of people I feel like are only watching, waiting for any of us
Any
to
of the
say
words?
any of the words.
Yeah. So,
Wait, didn't they say this
how about
was a
this?
word,
We've been live now for an hour. So, how about topping her on
Celebratory
off?
shot. There you go.
Hey.
No.
Come
Yeah.
on.
No.
Come
No.
on. You know, I never know why.
What am I, the president of the idiot fan club?
Why do they use pussy as a?
He said president. It was on purpose.
Okay.
but
Well,
yeah.
So now you go too. Why do they use pussy as a denigration? With all of the
Cheers.
strength of a pussy, it shouldn't be something that's weak. Something that's strong.
How did we get to?
Because I was about to call him that, and I'm like, that's not really applicable.
Jesus
but anyway.
Christ.
Where are you going with this?
Anyway.
I don't-
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Hold on.
Give Corey a moment to research as well. But
I feel like you guys.
even if you're right, you're wrong. It doesn't matter. So, point is, we now have a new third-party challenger in this race. Justin Amash, what is it?
Amash.
Amash?
Yeah, you got
I
it
said
right.
Thank you, 1800. Is now in the race. Now, you may not know that name because I don't think that we used his name when we talked about him on the podcast, even though we did talk about him on the podcast, because he was one of two, I think, Republicans who
One.
voted. Was he one?
In the
one?
House, yeah.
Who voted for impeachment. Mm-hmm. And once no one
On
else
one
did-
count, by the way. Just
What?
On one
On
count,
one
I
count,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And once he did that and no one else
I
voted
don't-
with him,
I don't think it was like obstruction of justice. It was like improper records or some shit like that. It was just like,
by the way,
oh no, it's still a count of impeachment. I'm just saying, like, he's the only one who recognized the fact that
anything?
yeah,
Guilt of anything? Yeah.
anything happened.
But once no one voted with him, he then left the party. And he was just like, I'm not any party now. I'm my own party. Or the great Republican Party or whatever he wants to call it. But he has now announced that he is running for the highest office in the land independently. And
As a libertarian, though.
no, I don't know where you keep getting that. He didn't say he's running. As a
I got
libertarian.
that. He said he's running for the Libertarian Party endorsement.
Did he?
I believe so.
Yeah,
That would
that's
be
what I
really
read.
Dumb on his part. What I saw was he's forming an exploratory committee.
I
and
would
that's all.
disagree.
That'd be really stupid for him because he's never going to get on a ballot anywhere to be voted for on that. He should just run as an independent
way-
third party, like Ross Perot.
By the way, I do want to mention.
4 days ago, WashingtonPost.com, Representative Justin Amash to seek Libertarian Party nomination for president. Fuck!
Where are you? You need to stop. You're off your game. And where are you?
I'm sorry. That was
None of you are working out.
Can I get a round of booze?
Boo.
Come on, I want the chair. I can't hear you.
All right, I got to update these too. I'm way behind. 2 behind on Corey.
Woo!
And
Oh man, you're
just
gonna
checking
feel that
in,
tonight.
Corey takes the lead, 7-6.
7-6.
And by the way, we have not yet combined for Corey's total from year 1.
Well, I think we've had a
Yes.
good podcast.
Nope. We got to get through all of these topics. That's how
Jesus
this works.
Christ.
Whew, I'm sweaty. All right.
Yeah, what are the chances we can turn on the AC for this? I don't
Uh,
sweating too. But
I
no,
mean,
what I wanted to bring up is I'm not gonna lie, I was not entirely aware of the whole Amash situation. So I did a little bit of research before the podcast, and I found it interesting that I think like 2 out of the 5 articles that I read were about how his whole thing, like he made a big deal about him being pro transgender and pro gay marriage and all those things. But
Yeah.
literally he's saying like, oh, you know, the laws have been written and they're there, but much like our times or whatever, we must adapt and change. And like his whole thing, I feel like he's leaning into a side that
Now it makes sense why you asked the question beginning that is he going to steal votes from Biden or is he going to steal votes from Trump?
yes.
And here's why I stand firm on my position, which is he's still going to steal votes from Trump because there are a bunch of Coreys in the Republican Party who don't feel like the Republicans represent them anymore.
Yeah.
These guys are fiscally conservative and they think that small government's a good idea.
We
and
would
that-
we would love to just have a George H.W. Bush to vote for. I mean,
closer than most, yes. Yeah. George H.W. Bush, without the racism. Sure. Yeah.
A modern day George H.W.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Someone who...
A contemporary.
a contemporary with contemporary thoughts. Yeah.
I don't know, like Mitt Romney or something.
But no, so...
Has he ever
basically,
thought about running for president? I imagine he'd do well.
As the history of the O The Anthem Twitter will tell you...
Has he thought about running for president?
Oh wait, that was me.
Yes.
No, why did I do that?
Wait, was that a second time that he said it?
No, that was the first time.
No, because he just said it again.
Yes.
Or did I say it?
No, I repeated it.
No.
Oh.
I repeated it.
Repeated it.
I
did.
repeated
and
it.
then he
Roberto repeated it.
after me. Okay. Well, there
Oh,
we go.
both of you.
Yeah, because he just said it asking what I said or answering what I said. So,
I
to
don't think-
you,
Okay, fine.
Slancha.
Slancha.
Thank you to our live audience.
It's going to start getting messy.
It's already getting messy. I can tell.
So, I lost my train of thought. Oh, here's the thing. There are a bunch of Republicans.
There
in
is
the party.
there is a rally going on in my belly right now. It has grown violent.
Wait, you haven't drank it yet?
So, I'm waiting.
Corey's duodenum is in there going, guillotine!
I don't know how many people get it, but
I can't be in front of a microphone right now. This is a really bad idea. Live to the internet.
Oh, I
Wait,
sometimes
Drake.
hold on.
shoot.
I
Son of a gun.
sometimes think about these shows that we record and realize that clearly we're going to get to this point. Yeah, hopefully people understand. But then I also think about like one day I'm going to be like putting on my campaign for Best Picture, and then all of a sudden it's a video of me go, Mitt Romney.
I want to speak to the person who puts together your Best Picture reel, and it's not even going to be from the film. It's going to be just this episode over the course of every year, just cut together.
Just a super cut of the best of
Absolutely.
of Blank de Mayo.
All right. Anyway, so my point is, back to the topic. No, let him enjoy it. It's fine. He can stay right.
I'm
So
regretting my life decisions.
my point is that there are a bunch of people. The live studio audience demands it.
Woo! There we go. Oh my God, this is not gonna.
And for the folks at
end up
home,
well.
we have advised the live studio audience not to follow along with us. They have not been. They have on occasion joined us, but not everyone. Oh. Hang on, folks. Hang on.
Thank God there's a reserve.
We got a reserve, just in case.
Has it been chilling?
I don't know, but I'm lost. I don't know where it is.
Oh, we got it right here.
All right.
My
All
God,
right.
the audience must be wondering what the hell is going on here.
So,
Okay.
luckily that wasn't chilled or anything to make it easier.
So,
So my point was this. There are a bunch of Corys in the Republican Party
Yeah.
who are fiscally conservative and believe in small government, but who are socially liberal. And I think Justin Amash is...
I thought socially was there for a second.
Thank God.
I like how he was like,
he went to it. And
it's like the umpire who does the does all the build up. Ball.
interview. So he is basically going to Corey and saying, come back.
Yeah.
Come back to the conservative side because I am your guy. I am your Pete Buttigieg. I'm
Yeah.
your young guy who understands fiscal conservative politics, but who is going to say, the laws are on the books. Let's
Plus,
just
I'm
hold
from
it up."
Michigan. How bad could I be?
I mean, based on the news that I've seen recently, pretty bad. Also, maybe positive. I don't know. But just basically this. I see the concern
That
from
was me trying to stop from dying.
I see the concern from people saying like, oh, well, if he's running this agenda for being so pro-gay and pro-lesbian and pro-trans that he'll take votes from Biden, who, by the way, isn't so pro-gay, lesbian, or trans. And maybe that is going to be an impact, but I think we're going to feel Biden move to the left as we get closer to the election because he's going to want to group all those people in who might not vote unless he does. But more importantly, Trump has made it clear he's going to lift the wheels off the left rail and just ride that right rail as hard as he can. And this is going to be someone who's like, do I not vote at all? Do I swallow my tongue and go vote for Trump just to make sure that I have a conservative there? Justin Amash is offering a better way, a middle way of saying, I am the old Republican Party.
Wait, but so...
Not really the old Republican Party either. By the
So
way.
do we actually think, and I'm asking both
I'm
of
the
you,
old Republican Party with a new flair.
Yeah, the new old Republican Party.
I'm
So-
the new Coke of the Republican.
So I do want to ask you both, do you actually think that he's got a chance to get far in
Amash?
into the-
No.
No. But you know who else didn't have a chance? Gary Johnson didn't have a chance. What's her name?
Jill Stein.
Jill Stein didn't have a chance. Ross Perot didn't have a chance. What was the other guy you
Ro-
mentioned?
well-
Ralph Nader didn't have a chance.
Ross Perot, if for nothing else, drastically changed how the Republican Party was going forward. I'm getting at the stuttering point of my.
Yep.
He drastically changed how the Republican Party goes moving forward.
But what did
because
Ross
they
Perot-
realized that they couldn't be as traditional and hardlined as they were before, and then they quickly acknowledged that and then went even harder to the right.
What does Ross Perot have that Justin Amash does not have?
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. Ross Perot spent $1 billion of his own money.
He was the
1991.
Bloomberg before the Bloomberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Between 1991 and 1996, in 2 election cycles, he spent $1 billion of his own money just to be like, fuck the system. I'm doing this.
Though I heard
that's fuck
I
me
can't.
money.
I can't. No. I can't remember where I heard this recently. I'll have to find
and
it.
$1 billion in the 90s. That's not even 2 days.
I'll have
billion.
to find it and put it in the show notes. But there was something I read about how Perot, by elevating his status as just a presidential candidate, as just a candidate for an office, elevated the value
I think we lost
of his
half our
business.
audience too.
I'm just saying, drink.
No, I'm getting there. I'm finishing
Let
my
him
point
finish
first. Elevated the value of his business at the same time.
Yes.
Like it ended up costing him almost nothing.
No, and that's what we would call pulling a Trump, where you think I'm gonna lose,
Yeah.
but
I'm going to
elevate
get
my
a lot
value.
richer because of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then something fucked up happens, and you get elected.
Wait
And we're
a
stuck
minute.
with
People voted for me?
it. What the fuck is wrong with people?
What do I have to do?
All right, wait. I
wasn't
got it,
planning
I
for
got it.
this. What is this?
Listen, I got it. Shh. All right, listen. I could just go down on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and nobody would care. That'll lose it for sure. What? Polls went up. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Something tells me that we're getting close to the end. Right?
Yeah, we're at like 140 probably.
Oh. Well, you know what that means.
Nope, that's not what that means, and I'm not going to let you do that. You owe the viewers at home a little something. There you go.
Let's
No, we got a bunch of topics to go
while
through
we
here.
do this, why don't we play the next drop? That's what I'm saying.
Well, there is no other drop to play.
Yeah, for the Baltimore corner.
Oh. That's not really a drop. It's just a splash screen, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, we
This
do,
beautiful corner in Baltimore.
We do that ourselves.
where you get the straight dope.
Yes. You can talk a little bit about what's going on.
To be fair,
Back
we
home.
really could turn that into a drop by just having us do the vocals over that.
I'll take them from this episode. Clearly, it's our best work.
It's our best work yet.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, wait. I have to update the
You sound like a choo-choo train.
People are getting their money's worth this week.
I don't like the fact that Rachel is recording me from the couch.
This is amazing.
For Jolie.
It's amazing. Tell her to tune in on the internet like everyone else.
Yes. This
Oh
is
my
golden
God.
right
I
here.
am
This is
so sweaty right now.
I-
All right, so Baltimore corner. So
where you
news
get
out of
this shit
Baltimore.
dope.
The Blue Angels are planning a thank you to America's frontline workers.
What?
To those on the front line.
I'm not allowed to regret my decisions anymore? Fuck.
The Blue Angels, who are the U.S. Navy's special.
Special envoy to entertainment.
They're the special planes. It's the entertainment plane division. If you guys have never seen a Blue Angel show, you should go check it out. It's really interesting. It's fun.
If nobody's seen any episodes of this podcast at this particular time of year, because we can't say the name of the episode of the podcast, this is what you get.
Yep. Welcome, everybody. And, okay, yeah. So,
Man, I'm just looking at a picture of me on the internet, and I'm fucking hammered.
all right. So,
is
the Blue
clear.
Angels.
It is clear. Are we amongst friends here? Can I
Yes,
ask?
of course. It's just me, you, and the internet. Go ahead.
Are we amongst friends? Can I peacefully ask our friends who are listening to this, wherever in the world it may be, that I turn on the air conditioner?
Yeah.
For like
I think it's fine. Listen, for those of you listening by audio format, it's going to get a little messy right now, but it's going to be 100% worth it because it's hot in here. The show is only going to get better. So the Blue Angels are the specialty wing of the U.S. Naval Air Command, and they go and put on shows for the public. And if you've never been to a Blue Angel show, you should absolutely check it out. It's fantastic. They actually have the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, who do a similar type show. But the Blue Angels are coming to Baltimore, and they are going to put on a special show for our first responders and the frontline workers in the war against this
Awfulness.
terrible scenario that we are in right now. And I think that someone...
I'm putting the words back in front of my face. I'm not.
I think... Let's see if it helps. I think that someone in the U.S. Navy's planning office, the flight planning office, has actually said, you know what? We should check out the history of this city before we do a flyover. Because
Smart
they,
thinking.
because they basically have drawn a map of the White L of Baltimore. And that's the only places the Blue Angels are going to be flying.
Interesting. Interesting choice. Moving on.
No, so for those of you who aren't versed in it, the White L is the Charles Street corridor up to Roland Park, down to the Inner Harbor, and then
Basically,
the harbor
follow
area,
83.
not quite 83.
Hold
though.
on.
It's like
take
Charles
it,
Street.
Take it from the north to the south.
Okay.
Take 83 and Charles Street-ish.
Yeah.
All the way down until you get to the harbor.
Yep.
And then get a little bit of Fells Point, like do like one of those exaggerated curves.
Oh, it's just basically the harbor, along the harbor
Yeah,
on both
all
sides.
along the water.
Yep.
And then veer left, and then hit.
right as you're looking at the map.
Yes, I was thinking about in terms of the plane flying.
Yes.
Yeah. Turn right as far as a north orientation
Wait,
map
Corey.
of the situation.
All right, let's imagine, Corey, that you are flying the plane.
Yeah.
All right.
Should I do that?
All right. So Corey, wait. You are headed. You're headed downtown.
Yeah. I'm going. I'm moving.
All right. Now, you reach the Inner Harbor. What are you gonna do?
Turn left.
Oh man, God, I didn't do it. Hang on, wait. Oh wait, I did the wrong one.
What are you doing? What is happening right now? What is happening?
Okay,
right
we're back. Let me. I was clicked on the wrong thing. All right, Corey. So
Is there sound for this? Should I have sound?
no. So you need to go the other direction though. Oh no, you can go
What?
that. You can go that direction. Ready? All right, Corey, you're flying.
Yeah.
You're going down towards south. And then
Right.
ready? 3, 2, 1. You hit the harbor. Go. Oh, it's all messed up, but there he is. And now he's banked and he's headed down towards the.
Towards Harbor East and Fells Point.
And then,
Canton. And then I stop.
Wait. I gotta get back
Once
to the
I
menu.
get to Canton, I'm just like.
Oh man,
You're just missing out. Missing out on all the good
I
stuff.
really am.
Anywho.
All right, here we go. Let me get back to get back to the right thing. Nope, that's not it. Now you're in a barrel roll. Sorry. Hang
What?
on. He's
What are you doing?
he's barrel rolling on camera. Hang on. All right, flipping back around. There he is. All right.
What am I doing?
Now
This
you're
is a
right up.
disaster.
You're currently correct. Now you're flying. Okay, good.
Were you trying to flip me in the?
He did.
You rotated around in the frame. Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what happened. Okay, so
Hilarious.
the other side of this is that the spy plane has been flying around Baltimore for the past few weeks.
No.
No,
It just started this week.
this week.
Officially.
And
I mean, like, I
Wait
think
a
they've
minute.
I think they've been
Spy
flying.
plane. Explain.
oh, so
Oh, are
Corey.
you new to this?
go ahead, please. Here, let me put you on camera.
So,
You look sweaty.
do I? I wonder why.
I need more apple juice. Go ahead, Corey. You're on
Daddy
camera.
needs more apple juice.
Just you and the internet. Go ahead.
So, a couple years ago, it was published in a Wall Street Journal piece or a New Yorker piece. I can't remember. Somewhere in the New York general metropolitan
Wait,
area.
when?
A couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Stephanie Rawlings Blake was mayor at the time, if that helps you. So it was pre-2016.
Was it pre-Trump?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Who was?
What?
Who was? If it wasn't Trump.
Obama.
Oh, okay.
Obama was the one right before Trump. I don't know if you...
Was the what?
You're too young to remember. No, I ain't falling for that shit. What you're trying to do. I've been dealing with this motherfucker for so many years. I know all the tricks. I've seen them all before. Just because I'm a hammer doesn't mean I don't know the tricks.
I want somebody to cut out that too. Yeah, I've been dealing with this motherfucker for years.
Include the hammered part because I feel like it adds something to it. No, so they secretly flew a plane around that was monitoring the.
What?
That was monitoring the movements of all the people that the plane could capture. Now, the police commissioner, and everyone responsible for making sure this plane goes up in the air,
Our referee
would very much
gone.
like you to know that the plane doesn't really capture enough data to properly identify any single person.
unless
But
it's
more
looking.
makes you a person equal to a pixel on the screen. So if you were to run from a scene of a crime, we could follow the pixel, but we wouldn't necessarily know who the person was. The other
But
end.
they're identified by the police on the ground, and then we follow that pixel.
Well,
and
not
then-
only that, but you could also use the information that is provided by the
Traffic cameras and all
telecommunication
that,
companies
Oh, yes.
to link the movements generally to the movements of another cell phone that had a parameter like it, and
Yes.
figure out the person pretty quickly.
So anyway, it's spy plane because
It's a spy plane. Yeah, I mean, it's just basically capturing it.
And this is legal. This is up and running. It's all good.
It's
I mean,
Baltimore,
like,
baby. That's what we do.
It ain't.
You ever watch The Wire?
It's been kind of approved by the city council. That's good enough to get it up in the air. So,
Let me put you on camera. I'm gonna check on the studio audience. I think we lost somebody.
where's Carly girl?
Carly's sleeping.
Anywho,
Okay. Yes, we're back. Let's wrap this up.
yeah,
Yes. Spy plane.
yeah. It went up in the air this week. Let's talk more about this more when I could
So the point being,
properly function the thoughts that are going.
the spy
through my
plane
head.
went back up, and when it did, it recorded only East Baltimore and West Baltimore.
Huh? Weird.
So it's funny that if you were to overlay the Blue Angels flight
Yeah.
and the spy plane flight, those planes could be in the air at the same time and they would not run into each other.
To be fair, the amount of ground that the spy plane is supposed to cover probably covers the blue L or the white L as well.
Oh, well, the camera's on the spy plane, yes.
Right.
The plane itself,
The
however,
plane
is-
itself was probably, I'm
it's
sure,
just
it's just
doing-
circling,
it's doing the
doing figure eights around the west and east side.
the black butterfly, if you will,
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
Baltimore.
Just
And,
gradually just touching around 83 and the Pepsi sign, just in
Yes,
case there's an
essentially.
accident.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
The argument has been made. Well, there's no hospitals out in East and West Baltimore. However, Johns Hopkins, not the one downtown, but the one out on the east side,
Harbor
is-
Place or
Harbor
Harbor
Place,
View? Yeah.
or Harborview, yeah,
Yeah.
is the largest hospital complex in Baltimore, and they're not flying over there. And here's the reason why: because 2 years ago, during a gun buyback, someone turned in a rocket launcher to the Baltimore police. And some astute planner at the Navy office was like, we can't lose a Blue Angel because somebody is, trapped in their homes
Flying
and they're a little
over
messed
Perkins'
up.
homes.
And they're like, all right, boys, here we go. I don't know that the Blue Angel planes have countermeasures.
Makes me
so-
think about the opening of what was the one you were working on?
The what?
The screenplay, the pilot.
Oh,
Where's the one the helicopter gets shot
yeah,
down?
yeah. I don't remember what it's called. It's the fire's burning. in front of-
Insurrection or something
No, that's the book.
Insurgency?
No, that's the book too. I don't know. It's
Don't make it difficult for me.
the books, which are available on Amazon, are
Yeah.
The Movement, Insurgency, and Insurrection. This is a different screenplay, which is based in Baltimore. And in the opening 3 minutes, a helicopter gets shot down.
Yeah.
From
Anyway,
83, ironically. But let's talk about that.
one last thing, and I'm really glad that we waited until this point where I'm of clear mind and thought to talk about this.
Yes.
Because fuck this guy.
No implications whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Through Vigna Raja, who is right up there in the. Have you been looking at the polls, by the way, for mayor?
I haven't. The people of Baltimore are dumb. I love you all. but you're
Basically,
dumb.
every single poll is somebody else is winning.
Yeah.
It's just like one poll gets released, and it's just like Sheila Dixon's in the lead, and then it's just like T.J. Smith's in the lead, and then it's Through's in the lead.
Do you remember 4 years ago when DeRay McKesson was running and we thought there was some hope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I maintain, if you look at my Twitter, that if Baltimore was on fire, then we would elect Gasoline as the mayor.
I feel
because
like
we are, without a doubt, looking for the thing that would cause the most chaos in any particular situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, oh, shit, we're going through a horrible situation with our police. Why don't we just get a really awful police commissioner and just throw it to the wind?
Let's see what happens.
Wait, so just out of curiosity, before we...
By the way, I'm pissed at fucking Michael Harrison. Like, he was supposed to be coming in like it's the great hope and
Yep.
oh, I fixed New Orleans. Don't worry about it.
How's
and
that
then
working
he's
out?
Pushing out the spy plane like it's like gonna solve all our goddamn problems.
Just out of curiosity, how has crime been since the whole situation we're currently in?
Unpleasantness?
Yes.
There's been some.
Yeah.
There hasn't been as much.
Murders are down.
Yeah, there's been a little bit though.
However, it's also been a hot streak or a heat wave through Baltimore. And when that happens, the first or second time of the year, crime just always goes down. Because people are like, ugh,
also you
staying
gotta
inside.
I mean, you know, to be fair, heroin is an essential business in the United States. So I mean, it's not like any of the people who are out there murdering people have the ability to take the day off because.
And with Lexington Market being bulldozed, they got to go other places, east and west of Baltimore, to get their heroin.
You know, I normally I would be the type of person who would say, let's save the historic old building.
The oldest place in Baltimore, yes.
But thank God, to be honest, thank God. That building needed to go. It was not acceptable anymore.
Why?
Way too old, way too rodent infested, way too everything wrong with it.
And if it was altruistic that they were going to demolish it and build a new building and everybody would be great, but they demolished it so that they can sell the land to a new developer who's going to build a new building.
It's going to be
no.
It's going to be a new Lexington Market. They're basically just raising it and rebuilding it. No, it's
going to be developed.
Market.
It's developed by a
Lexington Market.
Yes, and it's developed by a developer.
It's
and
Lexington Market. No.
Every vendor
I'm not gonna let you put this evil.
Every
on us.
vendor who's in there,
Ricky Bobby.
Who's in there has said they can't afford the rent in a stall in the new Lexington Market.
It's not going. It's
dollar hot dogs are done.
Well, clearly, but I'm saying
nickel bags are done. Everything you could get at
heads in a jar are done. Like there's no. I mean,
that place where we got meat and subs at the other block over, done. It's a 7-Eleven now.
The problem is that it's never going to not be Lexington Market, but it's going to be a lot more like Grand Central Market by the time we're done with it.
Yeah, and that sucks. That's not why I go there. I go there on the first day of spring so that I get a little hot box action and
so I can get a freshly fried rat and move on.
Get a $1 hot dog and buy some weed and go home. That's what I'm there for.
I'm going there to buy a hot dog, which ends up being a lot of weed, and then
get followed by a commissioner all the way back to my house.
No, it's cool. I'm not being followed. It's cool. I'm not being followed. Well, if I know correctly, because we're just gonna skip the last fucking thing, right?
Nope. We're transitioning out of the Baltimore corner.
No, come on.
Even though that's where you get the straight dope.
Wait, so are people not getting shot in Baltimore anymore?
We skipped over.
What?
First of all,
are people not getting shot in Baltimore anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was two homonyms.
I know. I am. I'm trying to get.
I'm the fucking law.
Shh. I know. I can say it. I'm trying to get other people. Jesus Christ.
Did you see the chip try to get entered in the mouth and not make it? Oh, the peanut gallery is just as wasted as we are. No, but we talked about nothing from the second section. Like restrictions being lifted.
Hey.
Like free testing in the LA.
Okay,
like
that's two.
The protesters.
Okay.
Like a show on Netflix that is going to undo all the ignorance like that I'm getting on Instagram.
There we go. Mentioned it all. OTheAnthem.com. Corey at OTheAnthem.com.
Oh,
The Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the listen line. 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595. It
Are
only
you
took me
sure?
7 years to get that one right.
A lot better than episode 1.
Man, you should have seen. You should have seen the. If you watch the video, the waiting screen video
Yes.
of the replay of episode 1. of me trying to get that
You
phone
should just
number
post
right.
that video by itself.
Woo! Man. I was like, Anyway.
I mean, we got close.
You can find more of me at my website, CoreyBakerFilmmaker.com. Please don't. Please don't associate that with this. But, you can find more of me at Corey Baker Film on Facebook, at LegendsB5 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm going to be doing new reviews. I've been trying to figure out how to do it with the legacy aspect of it all, but that's happening on Monday. I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to do it on Monday.
Hey.
So, yep.
All right.
Enjoy that, and that's it for me.
All right. And Roberto, would you like to plug your pluggables?
Sure. You can find me.
Go ahead, be associated with it.
Okay, so apparently the Peanut Gallery has been following along with us a little closer than they should have. This is why you shouldn't follow along at all.
Anyways, you can find me at social media. Not all of them. Some of the social media. At RTO. What?
No.
Okay.
Please switch to him real quick. Am I still on camera right now?
He's just chilling, leaning against the wall in his Pulp Fiction shirt because he's cool like that. This reminds me of the video of the episode of Me and Your Dad and You, and you're like, it's like Corey Baker, filmmaker. Although I look like a damn ghost. I'm just a floating head with the black.
I ain't saying shit for the rest of this thing. So.
Shut up!
Seriously.
Go.
You can find me at all the social media. Or not. What are you doing? What is this? You need to stop everything you're doing. Everything.
This is what happens while we are usually podcasting. They just get wasted by themselves. Usually it's us not getting wasted with them, but here we go. Go ahead.
Anyway.
This is Corey relaxing.
You can find me at some of the social media at RTOAZN, Instagram, Facebook. I had a Facebook page now that's up and running. I guess I'm gonna get into TikTok at this point. I've been.
Can I interject really drunk for a second? Hold on. No, we're done. We're done at this point. We're at the outros.
To the end. It's to the end, bro. To the end.
Hold on.
You do it.
All right, fine.
Do it.
I'll do it. But
Okay.
first, I'd just like to say, because I was trying to say something nice about Roberto, that he is a very talented actor. And that it would mean a lot to him if you would follow him on all his social platforms. Because unlike me, who is a sound mixer, and nobody cares about what I do on social media, for Roberto, it matters quite a bit. So if you enjoyed him at all throughout the process of this thing, please like his page, because even the number of just 1+ helps him out tremendously. And it would mean a lot to me if you would do that for him.
Yes.
Because he joined us for this whole process, and he didn't need to do that.
And speaking of 1+,
Yeah, I know. I got it.
Thank you, though. Thank you. I will join you on this one because thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. And let's
he
go
might
back here.
lose a job to Channing Tatum because he doesn't have enough followers. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so
Because I am usually running against Channing Tatum.
where can the people find you?
They can find me again at all the social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and
TikTok
soon at RTOAZN.
We've lost Corey.
We've lost Corey, yeah, but
So follow him. RTOAZN.
RTOAZN on all your
I'm
social
sorry.
media.
Somebody put a bucket of ice on the ground, and now it is rotting through the floor.
And of course, you can find me at all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com, which is brand new, even though it's under construction.
We can't put a fucking coaster on the table, but we can put a bucket of ice on the floor.
Wait, I gotta update this. I gotta update this. Hang on. I want people to be completely up to date, and this is the correct.
So what's the counter at this point?
The correct number now is 10-7.
10-7 what?
Corey to me. You can't tell, honestly.
No.
Anyway,
Me?
to repeat, you can find me at Robert and Cheek on all your social networks. That includes Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, TikTok, and everywhere else at Robert and Cheek. Make sure you check out robertandcheek.com where you can find links to everything that I do, including the YouTube, which is youtube.com/Rob Cheek, where you'll find the Everyman movie reviews all the way through. This entire time of us being stuck inside, I have kept up 2 episodes per week. Right now, Searching for Sugarman is up. You'll be able to find the Amanda Knox documentary review up. And I got another review coming for you on Sunday. That'll be tomorrow as you're watching right now. Or it'll be 2 days ago as of Tuesday when this posts. New episodes on Thursday and once more during the week. So make sure you check that out. RobertandCheek.com is also where you can sign up for my email list. You can find links to my Patreon and everything else that I have going on. So make sure you check that out, including the books which are available on Amazon.
Buy Rob's books.
Compra los libros de Rob.
And that is why I'm a consummate professional, motherfucker. So, anyway.
Real quick, before we get out of here.
Sure, yeah.
Roberto, do you want to speak in Spanish about Cinco de Mayo?
Not really.
To all the people who've been listening this whole time, waiting for a little bit of...
I mean, not really about Cinco de Mayo, but I can thank all the viewers because I have seen that we have some viewers from Mexico that are joining us.
Good.
And some viewers have said they don't understand what's going on, but they've been watching nevertheless. So... Gracias a todas las personas que se unieron a nuestro podcast en español, en inglés. Gracias a todos los televidentes. Esto es el O The Anthem podcast. Lo pueden ver cada semana, los martes, o lo pueden ver en vivo normalmente los sábados o domingos. I just gave you guys a quick promo.
Gracias, señor.
En las meses, en la futura...
Left hanging. Left hanging. Still left hanging. Still talking about it out.
En los meses, en el futuro, Roberto y yo podemos un podcast en español totalmente.
Sí, señor.
Close enough, right?
Sí, señor. Yes.
Time to pass the fuck out.
I'm working on my Spanish. But anyway, so if only Corey would give me the cue so we can close this motherfucker down.
Well, I think we've done good here today.
We have done something. I know it is not good. But thank you all for joining us for this episode of the O The Anthem podcast, the 7th annual revisiting of...
Thank God it's a year away from now.
And we are officially 51 weeks away from the next time we have to do this. Hey, did you refill him over there?
No. Sorry.
Let's do one just to close it on.
Yeah.
No.
Come
Yeah,
on,
we don't
man.
have
Come
to
on.
do that.
Don't be weak.
We
don't
don't
be
have
weak.
to do all that.
I think we do. So, as always,
Rachel's like, yes, please. Because
As
she wants
always,
me to be on her level for a
you are
change.
listening to the O The Anthem podcast, part of the O The Anthem digital network. For Corey, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
Wait.
And thank
And
you, Roberto,
Roberto,
for
being
joining
here.
us.
There
We
you go.
appreciate it. And by the way, you'll be listening to this on Tuesday, which is May 5th, and that is, of course, Roberto's birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy.
To our
Feliz
good friend.
cumpleaños.
Gracias.
Mi amigo.
Gracias. Happy Cinco
Bueno.
de Mayo. Feliz Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo to all of you. Pop.
Solancha, feliz cumpleaños.
Salud.
Salud. What are you doing?
What? I'm putting it down. I gotta end this thing first. That's
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this train wreck. See you next time. And